Kayla. Kayla's got Parkinson's. So I'm going to do a game of a fantasy game using Dragon Rampant. I've written out my sheets. You do get the sheet at the back of the book, the rosters, like that, and you can print them. And I have a printer, but my printer is continually running out of ink. So I've started doing this. So I've written out the sheet, and it tells you pretty much everything you need to know. In the past, sometimes I've written them out on card. So I've got a sheet for the good guys, I've got a sheet for the bad guys. What I've done, you get a point system, and your army has to be worth 24 points. And so I did these with a few days apart, so I didn't try to match one against the other. And the evil army has very few archers, but a lot of heavy and even ferocious troops. The good army has a lot more archers, but because of that, and they're elves, so they're elite, but an elite unit only has 6 figures, whereas other units have 12 figures. So the elves have got 2 units of 6. The orcs, every unit has 12. I've also got crossbows with the elves, the good army. So we'll see how that pans out. I'm using this fella as the good commander, because the Gaians, I think I've said in other videos, very Romanesque, and he's got a standard. And the evil commander is this chap with his standard. Now, you allocate a commander to a unit in Dragon Rampant, and he has to stay there. So before I diced for their characteristics, which in retrospect was a mistake, I've allocated them to units. The orcs I allocated to a large group of Urukai with the ability to form a shield wall. The wolves on the bad side have wild charge. So if they get within 12 inches of an enemy, I have to test to see whether they charge without my say-so. The good army, I attach the commander to the elves, but thereby hangs a tail, because when I diced for the characteristics, Hadzuk, the orc commander, came out as Bone Shaker, which means each turn any unit within 12 inches can attack without having to throw an activation dice. Whereas Lord Tristal, the elf commander, threw a weak command, so his unit has to lose a dice when it shoots or fights, and they've only got 6 figures. That was a mistake, and I wouldn't have done that had I known. But in future battles, when Tristal appears, he might be relegated to the rear. He might not be in command after this battle. We'll see. So, now we throw for initiative. Make life simple. Throw white dice for the Gaian elf army and a black dice for the orc army. The guides go first. So, what we do now is I select a unit and I tell my opponent what unit I am activating. Now, I know that nobody's in range, but I also know from playing this game in the past that if you stand on that back line and let the enemy come to you, when you are forced back, you end up running off the table. So I'm not doing that. So the elves are going to go first, and they have a move of 5+. So I throw these and I need 5+. 9. So they move 6. I'll move them 6 at the moment. Gives me a bit of room. There we go. That's them. Okay. I'm going to move these elves next. Yeah. Up. And I've got the dwarfs, or heavy missiles. They need 6+. Yep, 7. And the only unit I've got left are my heavy riders. Heavy because they're in armour. And they move 5+. Yeah. Now they could go 10. But they're not going to. They're going to go 8. Now, the thing with these lads is you can pay for abilities by adding points on. And their ability I've paid for is... Oh no, that's not an ability. No, their natural skill that they come with is countercharge. So they can countercharge. Let's go to bad forces. And we will start... So I'm worried about this. This is hard. I can't... It's like the same with every battle. I can't stand there because I'll just get shot. So I have to come forward whether I like it or not, really. It's not my natural way of fighting. I have friends I wargame with who would much more naturally want this type of army. So, okay, let's start with the best. So 5 to move. Yeah, 5 to move is the best. And that is the heavy foot, and I've got 2 of them. Man-orcs. So I'm going to do the ones on the very extreme right 4. That means they've lost their turn. The entire army now passes the turn back. Oh, now do they? Because is that Dragon Rampant or is that Lion Rampant? That's interesting. I'm sorry to do this. Activating units. Rally backward units. Test for wild charge. Oh, skills, blah, 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 blah. If your test is unsuccessful, your activation phase ends. Page 28. In some of these Osprey rules, it's just that unit that's their turn ends, but it's them all. So, right, the range is 18. I'm going to go back to the rules. I play this so often, but I don't want to get it wrong. I want to say the archers can move and shoot. Shooting. Target unit never shoots back. Yeah. It doesn't say. It looks to me like you can't move. You've got one action. I think you've got one action. So okay, in the sort of absence of not wanting to waste time, they're going to move. Yeah. Aggressively advance to their deaths. So there, all the 5s and the dwarfs are a 6. No, fail. But it's the last turn. We just put the dwarfs a little bit behind where they might want to be. So let's go to the... okay. Can't move and fire. I'm going to move their light missiles with the 6. Oh no, they don't move. Oh, they're frozen to the spot. I'm terrified. I've got a ranger. I can always pre-measure, it says. So there we go. I'm gonna open fire. So I've got 6, 2, 4, 6. But my commander being a weakling, it gets rid of that. So to shoot, I need shoot 6+. Yes. So the attack value, shoot value is 5. Looking at it, the shoot value is 5 and the hand-to-hand value is 3 because they're elite. I should have swapped that round really, because it doesn't have sophisticated fantasy rules, and elves can fire better, can shoot better than fight, can't they? But I did promise I would do it like it says in the rules, but that's nonsense. Elves have an attack value of 3. No, they don't. I'm swapping that round. I've got my little sheet, I've got a pen. Let's swap attack value and shoot value. So 5 of them, and their arrows are going to hit on 3s. 4. The heavy infantry, heavy foot, have a defense value of 4. So any 4s are saves. 2. So that's 2 casualties from there. Okay. Two casualties. I keep checking the book because okay. Oh no. Right, you need to take a courage test. So let's do that. Courage test is 4+ heavy foot, 4+. So, oh, hang on. It's not, is it? Because of the how do the casualties work into that then? Oh no, I've got it wrong. I've got it very wrong. So I look at what I've scored. Their armour is 3. I got 4 hits. So they take 1 damage for every 3 for their armour. So 3 for 4 is that. So they've lost 1 figure. Okay, so that's what they've done. And then that's the shooting. I'll just have a quick look about morale. When to test courage. Units lost strength points, yeah. How to test courage. Roll 2 dice and add the total. Oh gosh, 3. Yeah. From this, subtract 1 point for each strength point the unit has lost. It's lost 1 figure. So 3 becomes 2. Subtract an extra point if it's down to half, no. Add a 1 if your leader is within 12. Yes, is with the unit. 3 again. So they've got 3 and their final courage is 4. If you have equalled or better, nothing. If you fail, you must retreat from danger. If you fail the courage test but your score is better than 0, you must retreat. Retreating unit moves half of its normal movement distance. Oh, you see, this is what I've said about getting enough away from the edge of the table. So if they retreat half their move, heavy infantry, they move 6, going to retreat 3. It's going to put them right on the end of the table. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be generous at this point because this is ridiculous. I'm going to put them right there. I'm not losing an entire unit in the first shot. I've not shown you anything yet. Wow. So that was that. Goodness. A unit, when a unit becomes battered. When a unit becomes battered. So how do you get battered? It says when to test courage. It tells you what happens when you're battered. I can't find how to get battered. This must be really obvious. Units become battered as a result of poor morale. The later section goes into more detail on how this affects a unit. If you have any battered units, it doesn't say how you get battered. How do you get battered? How do you get battered? I'm just going to keep saying it until something jumps out at me. What? I don't know what to say. Is it when you get less than 0? Yeah, let's say that. I don't know what it is. I'm going to say that. So if my activation had been less than 0, I'd have been battered. And well, actually, it might say it there, mightn't it? When I did that shooting thing. When to test courage. Failing a courage test. Right. Yeah, here we go. If you fail the courage test, it's greater than 0, must retreat. Your unit also becomes battered after you've retreated. If you get less than 0, it's removed. Oh, gosh. That's nasty, isn't it? Okay. I know that was long-winded. I'm trying to sort of do it properly. This is why it's better having your own rules. They're battered. Right. Well. On the strength of how easy that was. So I crack at them. No, we're out of range. So I'm going to move them because I measured them. So they need a 5. But with those Malahawks there, so I was saying about get away from the edge of the table. I'm going to do the dwarfs now. Moving with the 6. Yes, 10. I've fallen foul of that. It's going to surprise you, this, but I've played this game a lot. But I've never been so quite as conscious of getting it right. Now my heavy cavalry, my heavy riders only move 10. So so men move 6, cavalry only moving 10. That's another reason why I change rules. People say, oh, you shouldn't change the rules. But sometimes you think, well, I've got to, because they're not working. So I'm going to stop my good turn there. First thing the bad forces have to do is to get that battered off. So this time they're going to throw 2d6 and they're going to subtract 1. I'm not sure what I did. I think I might have done that whole thing completely wrong. Why did I? Why if it was only 1 casualty, how did they end up at 2? Because I said they got it 3 hits at the start. I don't know what I've done. Oh, this is a complete nightmare. I'm going to carry on because these things happen, don't they? So they've got 1 casualty. So I'm going to throw this and I'm going to subtract 1. They're not, it's not going to be bad, is it? 7, no, down to 6. That's plenty. They're fine. So that can come off. Get rid of that. So let's have a look. I don't think that should have happened. So I'm glad I didn't make them run away now. Here we go. I'm going to go with heavy foot. They're going to move 5. 5. Hooray. So it's these lads. Off they go. Here we go. And these lads are the same type of troops. They need 5, yep. There they go. These are elite foot. These need 5. Oh yeah. Yeah. The light missiles 6. Yeah. Keep checking distances and things. I'm getting paranoid that I'm telling you fibs. And then the war beasts, lesser war beasts move 6. Yeah. Okay, so what I can do, is I'm going to move them, lesser war beasts. They move 12 to there. Now my reading of a wild charge is they are now within 12 of them. Actually, they're within 5 of them. Oh, and 5 of them. So yeah, logically they'd charge them, wouldn't they? And that they are within 12 of him. So they can make an attack with no test and they're going to crash into there. They attack with 5 plus 2, 4, 6, and it is 6 because it's cavalry against cavalry. The attack on 5s. Now my cavalry's armour is 3, but they only got 2 hits, so that's not enough. So my knights fight back, and their defence value is a 5, and there's 6 of them, so I need 5s. Come here. Oh, that's quite good, isn't it? And that's the war beast's armour. Defence value armour is a 3. So I got 4, so I got 1. I got 1. Well, so they lost that, and they come back because they lost. Then they throw this, subtract 1, 5, but their courage is 4, so it's higher than their courage, so that's all they do. They just sort of are repulsed to there. And I'm not going back to the rules to check. That's what I believe, and if I keep going back to the rules forever and ever and ever, we're all going to be bored witless, so I'm not doing that. Back to the good troops. Okay, I'm going to pepper the riders first of all. So these elves, yes, 2, 4, 6, lose 1 because of the weak leader. Hit on 3s, that is 3, their armour's 3. Gone. They are minus 2 now, because they've lost 2 figures in total. And as the more you lose, the worse it gets. So it's still 7. It's not a problem. Now they're going to get hit from here. And that is 2, 4, 5. They've got an armour of 3, so that's another 1. But now at 50%. But they're not below 50%. So 2 dice, minus 3. Still okay, isn't it? I'm wondering if that should be minus 6. I wonder if you double it. I don't know. I don't know. Oh well. Okay, my cavalry are going in. They are attacking. To attack, they need 5 plus. Yep. In they go. 2, 4, 6. They are attacking with 5 plus attack value, 4 plus 4. They are defending. Their armour is 3. So another 1 dead. So if you said, for example, if you say, okay, they've lost 4, I'm not sure they have. I think they might have lost 8. Because you're going to have to wipe them out otherwise, aren't you? So if you said, let's say they've lost 8, at 9, it's 1. It's less than their courage. That would make them retreat, which sounds to me more logical. So they are going to retreat half. Move, which is 12, so they're going to retreat 6. And they're battered. Now, the crossbows have a range of 18. They're in range. They need heavy missiles. Shoot 6+. Yes. 12 of them. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of them. And they are hitting on heavy missiles. Shoot value 4. Get rid of everything that's not a 4. And the heavy infantry have a defense value of 5. That's 1. And that's not enough to get anybody. 1. So unless these guys throw something absolutely pants, they're fine. They're not bothered about that. Okay. I think what I'm going to do, I'll finish the game and then I'm going to go through this book with a fine-tooth comb and refresh myself. Because I amble into making up rules, I forget stuff. And because I'm not here with a mate who knows the rules as well as I do, or better than I do, things are happening. And if any of us watching the YouTube know this game, they are going mental at the moment. So battered units I have to test. So they're going to lose 8. They've got 10, lose 8. Still 2, that's still less than their courage. So they run away again. And they're going to lose a figure. Because it's the second time they've run away. Their move is 12, they're going to go 6. They're still on the board. But they're still battered. They're going to lose another figure. And to be honest, I ain't keeping them on with one figure. I just think that's nonsense. So that was the first thing I had to do. Are these little lesser light missiles in range? They've got a range of 18. Let's shoot at the elves. 12 of them. 2, I know there's 12 nice there. They have shoot value of 5s. Oh yeah, they get a shot. So then every 5, that's quite good for them. And then the elves have, they won't be very good. They have an armour of 4. That's 1 dead. Just to see if the pattern. No. So when I set this up, I thought the orcs would walk it, but this archery is tough. These man orcs here have the ability to form a spear wall, which they are going to do with the commander because they don't like the look of that cavalry. You have to have a minimum of 6 men. So we've done that. There we go. These chaps, these are elite. They move on a 5. Yep. Trying to get in here. And these lads on the end, activate on 5. Just to do. Got 6. Right. So, whew, that's them. Back to the elves. Okay, well, I think we're going to try and stop them with archery. So we're going to shoot here. first of all, with elf shooting. I'm going to swap. They've got attack 5, shoot 6. I'm going to swap that round as well. So they've got a shoot for 5. Yes. 5 of them, isn't they? 2, 4, 5. And they hit on 3s. That is 3. The elite foot have an armour of 4, so that's nobody. Because they need a 4th one to get through the armour. 3's not enough, it's not strong enough. These elves, I'm going to take a shot at these lesser goblins. Yes, they do 2, 4, 5, 6. Now these, they all hit. The lesser goblins have an armour of light missiles, 11 armour. Oh, 2. Oh, 1 dead, 2 dead, 3 dead. Ouch. Biff bat bosh. That's 3 dead. So I'll throw these -3. That is a lot. It's not a problem. That's not going to be an issue. Dwarfs. Yeah, that's it. 12. So 2, 4, 6, 8. There we go. They have a shoot value of heavy missiles, shoot, force. Get out everything that's not a 4. And the armour on these heavy foot is a 3. That's 1, 2, 2. 2. Now that's the 3rd man they've lost in total, so 4. That's 1. So they are down to a courage 1. That's less than the courage, but it's not less than 0. So they retreat half and become battered. I'm going to try and seize the day, if you like. So my cavalry are attacking. Now that's different to moving. You've got to be in range, and I am, and I need a 5, and I get it. They are attacking the goblins. Indigo. There's 12 of them because they're fighting infantry. So they have an attack of 5. So I keep every 5. No, 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 no. No, no. No, no. But they only have an armour of 2. So I get 2 more. They've now lost 5. I'll throw these and a -5. 4. They have a courage of 4. That's 0. Is it 0 and less? Or is it less than 0 that makes them run away? If you fail a courage test and your final score is 0 or a negative number, your unit loses heart completely and flees the table in route. Remove it immediately. Okay. Now, so let's see if I can rally those first. They're battered. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. They've lost 3. So it's this -3, 5. Their courage being heavy infantry is 4. So the battered comes off, but that's all they can do. I'm just looking at the situation as far as my general's concerned. Because it's a campaign, and if you look at the map video, you'll see that these Gaians control the pass, and this Orc chieftain is trying to establish a new clan in the mountains. It's not really any reason to fight to the death. It's a 24-point army. Every nation has a minimum of 100 points for an army. So if you lose more than 50%, you cannot replace them. You lose the entire army. Now, he's not in danger of that happening. He is in danger of getting killed. And it will be pointless because he could just run back into the mountains. And what he's learned is that these elves might not look particularly tough, but they're tougher than he imagined. And I think at that point, he might be better turning tail and running. So he is with heavy foot to move. He needs a 5. Yeah, they're gone. They're running away. Having seen him go, and they're within 12 inch, so they are elite. They move with a 5. No, they've only got a 3. So they've gone, but they've left them behind. Okay. They can't do anything because they've just rallied. Okay, the elves are going to fire on them now. Yes, they are. 2, 4, 5. They are going to shoot. They need a 5. Yes, they are. They need 3s. That gives them 4. The armour on an elite soldier is a 4. That's just one of them. Still a test, but it should be alright. Yeah, 5. And their courage is 3. That's fine, they're strong. These lads are going to shoot at them. With 6, they need a 5 to shoot, to initiate a shot. Yeah. And now they need 3s. Not that, but everything else. So that's 5 hits. And their armour, heavy foot, is 3. So that's another one of them dead. So they test now. They've lost 2, 4, 6, 8. They've lost 4. So this is -4. 3 minus 4 is -1. 0 or a negative. They run away. They've gone. And I don't want to risk any figures. I've got a full cavalry unit here in the campaign. I've got a full dwarf unit. I've lost an elf there. So I've won that battle and I've lost 1 figure. So, you know, my commander is very happy with that. There's no questions going to be asked about his competency, is there? Because he didn't appear weak, and that was the game. I know it's a bit chaotic, wasn't it, at times, but it's because you know, when you play a game a lot and you think, oh, I know that, I know them, I know that, yeah, that's what happens. And then sometimes you play with a mate and they go, oh, no, you got that wrong, and you both have a book and you look it up. But when you're playing on your own and you've got a sort of responsibility to the viewer to get it right, I've just sort of ended up taking away from perhaps what should have been a speedy battle. And I didn't plan the forces very well. I sort of planned the forces as I thought they should look, as a sort of a goblin orc army and an elf army. in Gaia, because I know the constituencies of Gaia. I know who their allies are and things. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. Oh, okay then. I will get this online, and I hope we got something out of it. Okay. Ta-ra, Chuck.